Welcome everybody. We're so excited to share with you today details of Mosaic at this celebration presentation. You know, we first introduced or announced Mosaic to the marketplace in June of 2019, and we're so thrilled today to be sharing the kind of information that you'll need to decide if Mosaic is right for you as your new home in Lancaster City. And today in this presentation, we're going to cover with you some of the origins of Mosaic. Where did the idea come from? We're going to share with you more details about Mosaic and how it contributes to a distinctive 55 and over lifestyle. We're going to share with you today the financial investment, the fee structure. We're going to importantly share with you details about what we call life care, and more on that to come. And finally, if Mosaic sounds right for you, we're going to share with you our next steps, the process and timing to move forward with Mosaic. Before we begin, let's take a look at a quick video that gives us a highlight, an overview of Mosaic. Before we talk about Mosaic, we first have to talk a little bit about Willow Valley Communities. Mosaic is an expansion of Willow Valley Communities. Mosaic is taking Willow Valley Communities into the heart of Lancaster City. So we want to acknowledge that Willow Valley Communities was established more than 35 years ago, and importantly, we've been in growth mode ever since, expanding since the day we opened our doors in 1984. Continued growth. Mosaic represents that continued growth. We were founded with a commitment to hospitality and 55 and over living at its best. That is a differentiator for Willow Valley Communities when you think about senior living communities. Many of them are institutional in nature. Many of them have an exclusive focus on healthcare, which we offer. But for Willow Valley Communities, hospitality is so important. The founding family of Willow Valley Community, way back in the early 80s, had an inn and restaurant. And so think about the hospitality that was essential to operate an inn and restaurant. That spirit of hospitality came with that family as they crafted Willow Valley Community almost 40 years ago. Today, we are the nation's leading destination life care community with 2,600 residents from nearly 40 states. Now, what do I mean by destination community? People choose to come to Willow Valley communities from all across the United States, oftentimes with no prior connection, no family, no connection whatsoever to the Lancaster area. They choose Willow Valley communities for all the things that it offers, including life care. And we'll talk about that just a little bit later in this presentation. Today, we offer an expansive network of residences and amenities on 2 campuses, just 7 minutes from downtown Lancaster, Lancaster City. Speaking of Lancaster City, we say, why take Willow Valley communities and the concept into Lancaster City? Well, I talked to you about the expansive growth mode we've been in ever since, and we are built to capacity at our existing campuses 7 minutes south of Lancaster County with a large and growing interest list of prospective residents. In short, the demand is there for more Willow Valley communities. As a leader in the industry, we're also keenly aware of the strong demand for 55 and over living in a city environment, in an urban or downtown environment, especially in walkable, amenity-rich cities like Lancaster. And we know that Lancaster is consistently recognized as a best place to retire in the United States. So beyond a best place to live, a best place to retire. In fact, just announced by U.S. News and World Report, look at the center of this graphic. Lancaster was named the #1 place to retire by U.S. News and World Report. So Lancaster is really having its moment. Forbes calls us a top 10 coolest city. New York Times calls Lancaster a hive of culinary diversity. The New York Post says that Lancaster is the new Brooklyn, teeming with art galleries, indie boutiques, and restaurants. And Newsweek says Lancaster is among the top 50 places to live. It just makes sense to take Willow Valley communities into Lancaster City as Mosaic. What is Mosaic? It's a new model for aging well with comfort, peace of mind, and a fierce insistence on more, not less, of everything that brings you joy. And on that point, some view the later years, their senior years, their retirement years, as less than the lifestyle that they used to live prior to that time. Willow Valley Communities turns that on its head. Our tagline of our very brand is life lived forward. We think about all the possibilities and the rich life that is ahead of you at Willow Valley Communities, and now as we enter Lancaster City, downtown Lancaster. Mosaic will be ideally located at the intersection of Queen Street and Vine Streets. The address, 17 West Vine Street, which is the site of the Lancaster newspaper's former print production building in the heart of Lancaster City. And you see it here outlined in red. Importantly, we're 1 block south of the heart, Center City at the intersection of King Street and Queen Street, Penn Square. Mosaic is 1 block south of Penn Square. It's a beautiful location to craft Mosaic in the heart of Lancaster. This graphic shows the walkable proximity to some of Lancaster's top destinations. We very intentionally selected the location for Mosaic to be right in the heart of the action. Again, that walkable, culturally rich city that so many 55 and over are desiring today. And Mosaic fits the bill perfectly. Mosaic, as I said before, is an expansion of Willow Valley Community's existing operations in Lancaster County. We think of it almost as a third campus. If 2 are 7 miles south, this is number 3 here under the brand name Mosaic. And when complete, it will represent approximately 8% of Willow Valley Community's total residential portfolio in Lancaster County. So 8% of our residences or units. Mosaic will be exclusively for those 55 and over with active adult living with the assurance of life care from Willow Valley Communities. As I said before, a good bit more on life care and what that means and the critical importance that it offers coming later in this presentation. Life Care by Willow Valley Communities. And Mosaic residents will enjoy easy access to the amenities on our existing campuses. So again, if there's a performance or something happening in our cultural center, something happening in our clubhouse, any of the events that are happening in any of the amenity spaces down at Willow Valley Communities, just a couple miles south, those will be open and offered to Mosaic residents. Here's more about the specifics of Mosaic. So I'll slow down just a bit to cover this important information. Mosaic will consist of 20 stories, encompassing 146 luxury residences. Quite frankly, I think the word is exquisite is what they will be. Exquisite residences, exclusive amenities, and restaurants and retail spaces that will be, in some cases, open to the public. Now, in crafting Mosaic and thinking about it right there in the heart of Lancaster City, very intentionally, we're not intending to build a fortress. So some of these spaces will purposefully be open to the public. As I say that, very importantly, not the secure areas where the residences or apartments are, but some of the common spaces, the ground floor and second floor spaces that you'll hear about more in just a bit. We're thinking of Mosaic in terms of 3 levels, so 20 floors, but 3 levels. First is the mid-rise. So the residences, the apartments at Mosaic begin on floor 3. So the mid-rise will be comprised of floors 3, 4, and 5. Mid-rise, 3, 4, 5. Most of Mosaic fits into what we're calling the high-rise, which is floors 6 through 15. Floors 6 through 15 make up what we're calling the high-rise, most of the tower, if you will. And then at the top 5 floors, we're referring to collectively as the penthouse level. And that is 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And there will be some distinct advantages to those top 5 floors that I'll share with you in just a few moments. Now, I said 20 stories on 146 exquisite apartments in 16 different styles or floor plans, beautifully appointed and ranging in size, a pretty broad range here for apartments from just under 1,600 square feet to 3,338 square feet. So that large one is a 3-bedroom plus den apartment, a very sizable apartment high in the sky over Lancaster City. And as you see here, there'll be 2 bedrooms plus den, and then again, what will amount to 5 3-bedroom plus den apartments. And you'll hear references to those coming up soon. 5 very large 3,338 square feet apartment among the 146 that we're talking about. Now you might say, where do I park? This is in the city, and it is. We will have assigned resident parking. We've worked it all out at the adjacent Steinman parking garage, which, when Mosaic is constructed, will be connected by a covered sky bridge. And so residents of Mosaic will have a dedicated parking area in the Steinman parking garage, and they will come across a covered, secure sky bridge, which will take them right into floor 3 of Mosaic, where the residences, the apartments, begin. So parking is taken care of through a long-term leasing arrangement with Steinman Parking Garage. We got parking covered. Our target opening date at this time would be first move-ins taking place in the fall of 2026. As we crafted and considered building Mosaic using the world-renowned architectural firm Gensler. Gensler is the largest architectural firm in the world, and consistent with the way that Willow Valley Communities thinks about things, Gensler has no expertise in senior living. Willow Valley Communities does not look to what are people already doing in senior living and replicate it or modify from it. Rather, we go out and say, what are the best of the best doing outside of the senior living space? And that's why we brought in the architectural firm Gensler, to help us envision and craft this magnificent, refined building that will become Mosaic. We did that with some sustainability considerations in mind. As you see here, there'll be green roof areas. We've incorporated high efficiency mechanical systems. Very importantly, we've chosen an existing underutilized site to craft Mosaic. Now that's in marked contrast to, say, going out and consuming brand new farmland in Lancaster County. Instead, we selected the site for Mosaic because it is underutilized. It was the perfect spot in the heart of Lancaster City to develop Mosaic. You see that we have LED lighting systems throughout, and the residential glass facades will include low E solar reflective glass. And you see, you can't help but notice the expansive sunlight and views that will be built into Mosaic including operable windows in each unit of Mosaic. Now, in our next section of this presentation, I'll talk more about and show lots of renderings and images of some of the amenities and the apartments that will comprise Mosaic.